y'all. Welcome to Sharpen, where no matter the candid conversation, we always end up whittling life down to what matters most. And we hope that as you hang with us today, you will be inspired to do the same. I am Nicole Payne. This is Danielle Perry, Lynn Brew, and Natyra Blount. And today's topic is what I wish I knew before getting married. We have a few areas that we're going to talk about, from finances to communication, knowing each other's traumas from childhood, working through those things, and just being patient in marriage. And I think, we're talking about a lot of common threads here, though we're talking about different subtopics in the marriage. We're weaving common thread of communication, you know what I mean? Doing things together. That's really it, because the uncomfortable areas, the challenging areas, the times where I used to, when I was teaching still, I would feel the quick difference of going to work, leaving my home and going to work, and Kwesi and I were on a good note, and then going to work, and we were
Whose
not.
phone is that?
Natyra's.
Just going off over there.
Bo.
Girl,
Like the Simon toy.
That's Montague asking me if I'm done.
Oh, he ready.
He's straight.
You need to
try. Can you take me home?
Yeah.
Right, go ahead. I need a ride.
Oh, you need a ride. He dropped you off.
He dropped me off.
Okay.
And he was like coming back, but we didn't even talk about trauma.
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say this real quick.
Nah, we good.
All right.
He gonna go home.
Yeah,
Okay.
she got a ride now.
So, I would feel, I would feel so bad, not because, like, I felt bad for like being mean to him or something, but just I would feel kind of like out there floating alone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When we weren't on a good
Same
note,
page,
and I didn't like that because I'm not a good faker when something's not right. I'm not good with faking it. I would have to go through the whole day like that, and I would have to interact with children, and I would have to, and I just felt like I wasn't fighting with a full cup, you know.
Yeah, buddy.
So saying that to say that regardless of what's going on in marriage, I can think about something that sometimes when it hits my brain about something, I get nervous and I start to feel a little anxious and unsettled about it. But then I think, but as long as Kwesi and I are on the same page and we're in this together,
Yes.
and we're tight, and we are considering one another, and we are loving one another, we're gonna be fine. You know? Yeah. So, childhood trauma. Marriage can reveal unhealed childhood traumas.
Well, I know I was the one that put that in there. So for me, our first year of marriage was our hardest. Not that it wasn't great, but it was just our hardest as far as things just being revealed now that we're married, because that's another thing. Marriage is an eye-opener. Things that you may not have known or seen before marriage, they're going to be seen once you get married. And so for me with this here, because I grew up in a home where everything was supposed to stay in the home. Don't tell our business to nobody. Don't tell our troubles, our issues, what's going on in this house to anybody. Keep it here. So when Jared and I needed to have conversations that were serious, I didn't know how to communicate. Because I grew up with the notion of everything stays here, inside. And it didn't help that I was an only child. I didn't have anybody to really talk to. So yes, I had God, and that actually helped to cultivate a really good relationship with God, because he was all I had to talk to when I was younger. And so when I got married, I kind of still had that mindset of, well, I'll just talk to God about it. No, I need to talk to my husband about it too. And so he would tend to have to like pull things out of me, like, sweetheart, you have to talk to me. Like, just don't sit there quiet. Like, I don't know what's going on with you. And so it just took a long time for me to open up. Something I'm still working on, even though I have grown, but I'm still learning how to communicate open and honestly And because I grew up in a house where we just didn't really share a lot of emotions, even now as I'm learning more how to communicate with him, I get so emotional because I buried my emotions for so long. So I get really emotional. Sometimes I don't always have tact. So now when I do open up, he's like caught off guard. Not only because I've opened up more, but also the way I did it. So now I'm learning how to do it well. So your childhood traumas that may not have been healed because they weren't healed at the time, they will come out in marriage, because in your home it's just you and your spouse. And when things aren't healed from when you were younger, they're absolutely gonna show when it gets real tight and it gets real hard and it gets real challenging. So I just realized I didn't know how to deal with conflict. I was never taught how to. And so that was something for me as far as an unhealed trauma goes that I needed to really, really work on. Even 10 years ago, almost, well, I would be married for 11 years now in July, but even almost 11 years later, it's still something that I just am working on. So, yeah.
I think letting people know before they get married that they will encounter those types of things. It will come up, not like maybe. It will. Something from your upbringing, something from your past, could even be from a past relationship. Something's going to show its face, especially if it wasn't worked through, or even if you feel like it was worked through, but it really wasn't, or you feel like I'm good, I ain't worried about that, whatever. I have a tendency to, somebody was talking about it, they gave it a term, but anyway, I have a tendency to speak matter-of-factly about very serious things. And I'm like, that's just how it was, you know what I mean, whatever. But it's not whatever. It's not, because if something rubs you the wrong way, then I turn into a little monster, or something.
Not a little monster.
Yeah, bruh. But I feel like because I know how to shrug things off, or I feel like I do, then I say like, but that's just the way it was, or whatever. Even if I can throw a joke on it, or something, I feel like I'm good. But it will show up. And I realize sometimes that if we don't stop to understand the root of our tendencies or our reactions or what we won't tolerate and that kind of stuff, then it'll keep coming back around.
That's right.
It doesn't have to, but it'll keep coming back around. I remember feeling a certain way about certain things Montague would say. And I would look at him like, but you think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. Like, I'm not dumb. And I would say it all the time. And he would be like, you didn't say it right. I was helping you with the word. Or, just little stuff. Or something else. Yeah. And I'd be like, dang, you ain't even listen to my idea. Like, you just wrote it off. Like, but I got common sense. I'm not dumb. Everything came back. So I could be like, oh, you want mustard on your sandwich? I'm not stupid. Right. I know what mustard is. Like, and I had to realize... As a young person, I was considered the one who wasn't as smart as my sisters, even though I had a younger one. I didn't have common sense, and Tyra's silly, and Tyra's absent-minded, and Tyra blah, blah, blah. So as an adult, I'm like, ain't nobody going to be trying to talk to me like I'm stupid. Right. Or you gonna catch the smoke. Like, I got it for you, too. I got it stalled. I got it ready. And I had to realize that I needed to calm the heck down, especially when it came to Montague. And one of you said it, that our spouse is not our enemy. Like, he ain't trying to bust you up. He's not trying to do what the abuser did to you, or the verbal abuse, or whatever happened to you. He's not that problem. He wasn't even there. You didn't even know him at the time. But it will. And you just need to be ready. And understand, why did I react like that? Why did I break down crying like that? Why did I leave the house? Why did I punch a hole in the wall? I'm not saying I did all of these things, but these are things that happen. You be like, remember that? Yeah. And to know why, or why did I shut down?
Yep.
Why did I stop talking?
Yep.
Why won't I let him into this area? Why won't I discuss this with him? You know, why is that untouchable? And a lot of it stems from our upbringing. It's going to. Nobody told me this. It's going to show up. And it doesn't matter that, you know, you've been married almost 20 years or 11 years or whatever. What y'all like, 50?
Tuesday is 25.
There you go.
Yeah,
Half.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it doesn't matter. Because even
does not.
still, you be like, oh, snap, my bad. Yeah, I'll be tripping because A, B, and C. But not just then saying, and that's just me.
Definitely.
We can't do this all the time.
No.
You can't always think I'm trying to make you feel stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't always think I'm trying to tell you what to do.
Right.
Or control you or whatever. And it goes two ways. Like if I know that something stems from his childhood, it is my job not to trigger that. Do the best I can. It's also his job to not put that on me. I'm not the root of the issue, but you're taking it out on me. Like you both have work to do, and that part can be tricky because you just be like, he always tripping about that. I ain't got time for it. You know, I'm just gonna tell him whatever. But we're supposed to be supporting and building each other up. You can't if you just completely disregard what I've been through. But then you also can't if what you've been through is always what you know. But you know, I've been dealing with this.
Yeah,
but
you
you
can't
just
use that as a crutch.
you just barged out of the restaurant, or
Right.
you slammed the door,
That's
or
right.
you used the bad word when you were talking to me, or whatever. And we can't just be like, but you know. How long we gonna go on this
That's
forever?
Right. At some
Right,
point, there
right.
has to be growth.
And there has to be a real taking accountability for your part
Right.
in whatever's going on.
Right.
And taking and understanding what do I need to do to be better so that I can breathe and relax. And I'm not always gonna be perfect, but and not beating each other up, not beating ourselves up. That it will show up.
It will.
I think that's what people need to know. Not maybe.
Definitely.
And you could think like, I ain't really go through nothing as a kid. You don't know. Just because you weren't raped, just because you didn't, you didn't have roaches, or just because y'all always had food, or you had two parents, does not mean that there's not something there that will impact the type of spouse that you are, or how you relate to people, or what you don't share, what you do share, how you feel about this and that. It will show up, and you're not living alone anymore. So I always think about with the milk, and you were putting a bunch of milk in your cereal, and when you were talking about it, you were like, "But I was using a lot of milk," and you changed like like you ain't the only person living in the house got to share the milk. Like it's not just your milk no more. It's not just your shower that you've been in for all this time, or it's not just your laundry that you're putting too much detergent on, or whatever, whatever. And we have to learn how to go from just doing our own thing, doing our money how we want, and thinking to realizing that you're doing life with this person.
Life. That's right.
You're doing life with this person, and then you start adding children to that boy, and they come up in there, and you be looking like, what is wrong with y'all? And then you look at them like, oh, you doing what I did, or you doing what I've been doing.
They will show you, not trying to.
Not trying to.
You will see little yous walking around, and then it's really in your face.
It's really in your face. I just said it to actually a parent at school. He was talking about how his daughter is like an overachiever and she worries. And I was like, my daughter is the same way. ... She gets it from her mother. Like, and I have to look and say, all right, Samara, me and you can't keep acting like this. Like we can't. Like you have to help her see you picked this up somehow. Somehow, like you be like, how you?
It's so intrinsic.
How you pick that up from me?
So
Because
intrinsic.
I thought you didn't know I was acting like that.
I hit that.
Like, how you know that? How you do that? Because we ain't even talking about that. Like, what are you doing? But to be able to say, you sound like me right now. All right, so listen, this is what we got to do, and to help them navigate too.
Yeah.
That's good.
where do I want to go with that? So many things. I can relate to that because I knew once I started seeing the Rue tribe, how they were communicating, that they
With each other?
definitely, that how they were
siblings?
communicating with each other.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, they kind of got that. They definitely got that from me. And so once I saw that, it was like, we all have to do a better job at communicating with one another, because we're not doing it in a healthy manner. We're really being rude to one another. We're really being nasty, snide, and snarky, and we have to do better at that. For me, my childhood trauma, I went into my marriage knowing what wife I was not going to be. I didn't realize that marriage was a lot of self-sacrificing. It was a lot of that. That you were, it was a lot of compromise. I just knew what kind of wife I was not going to be based upon what I saw in my household. And I was like, I'm not going to be that. And I will say that for the first 5 years of our marriage, I was not a good wife. I was not. And when I say I was not a good wife, I was just like, I'm not doing that. And I went to the extreme opposite, where there was another family member that I saw. They didn't take any stuff. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you what I'm not doing. And what you see is what you get. And so it was a lot of relearning. I don't even want to say relearning. It was just a lot of deprogramming. This is not healthy. This is not good. And my husband was nowhere near what I saw in my household. Nowhere near that. But it was still just like, yes, you worked a hard day and you want to come home and you might want to go to sleep. No, we got to stay up. Because what I saw in my household was, okay, my father, he worked a hard day. He worked construction. He came in, he laid on the floor and waited for my mom to come home and cook a meal. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. I saw my mom, doing a lot, going to the grocery store. Now, I go to the grocery store because, again, Dante is the free spirit. So, we have a certain allotted budget, sir. But either way, but it was just a lot of, I'm not doing this because of what I saw in my household. This is what you got when you did this, when you submitted, when you were this kind of spouse. It wasn't that what you got was a loving husband. I didn't see that. And so I went to the opposite, where my grandmother, she didn't take any stuff. She, she was like, hey, it is what it is. And you don't have to do all of that. And she told me that, where my mother was saying, no, this is how marriage works. These are the things that you should be doing. And in my head, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. My grandma was like, you don't got to do all that. And I was like, oh, well, Granny say I don't, then I'm not. So, and I didn't. But then it was a very, very much a come to Jesus moment, and was like, God, look, the way I'm running roughshod in this house, it ain't working. It's not. It ain't working. And I need your help, because he might leave.
Real.
Right. I've said that to myself. Like, Natara,
No.
you're going to be single. Keep playing.
Keep playing.
Keep being 2.5 fools.
I don't know if he gonna stay. And this is a true story. I remember we did not go on a honeymoon. We had gone to Massachusetts, and I was looking at Dante, and I was just looking at him like, ugh. And God said, you can divorce him if you want to. Next person you marry gonna have problems too. You better go ahead in there and work it out with them. And I was like,
Yup.
okay.
Because you wasn't a 5-star yourself.
I wasn't.
Like, right? Don't you
I
be
was
looking at
like,
oh my gosh.
some days I'm like, some days I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go sit down.
You know what I would tell myself? What I started telling, because I used to watch, I would watch a show and be like, bro, his wife is tripping, man. What's wrong with her? So I started saying, Natara, if you were watching You and Montague this week or today or whatever, which character would you say? Why is she acting like? And I'd be like, yo, I'm being that girl. Yes. Like, I would look at myself like if this were a reality show, you know, or whatever. Like, if I could step out and I'm just watching, and like sometimes I'm like, Natara, but no, that was mean. That wasn't good, or whatever. And yeah, just also learning how to model it. Again, these kids all in your business.
Yes.
They see everything. And being able to model, like, being making sure that they understand that Montague is the leader of the house, but and with that modeling that you ain't got to do every other thing in the house. Like, just because you see something dirty doesn't mean you got to be the one to clean it up. Because what I started seeing was a pattern, the difference between the boys and the girl. And when I needed something, like, hey, one of y'all come down here and do the so and so. It was always the same kid. And the other ones didn't feel like they had to. And nah, we're not doing it like that either. And so having enough balance and wisdom to do it appropriately and tastefully with certain things where it's an idea that this person should be doing that and that person should be doing that. But that's not always, this is not always the case. It's not. And being able to show them that so that Zamira doesn't grow up feeling like if there's a meal to be made, she got to make it. If there's a room to be cleaned, she got to clean it. If there's a pair of pants to be ironed, she got to do it. Like, you got, like
on Love and Basketball.
Yes. When she made the dinner and he brought the pizzas in and then she said she was ironing the drawers and then she slapped her because she deserved to be slapped. Mind your business.
Yeah.
But anyway, being able, she deserved that slap.
She slapped the starch out of her.
If I want to iron my man's drawers, it ain't none of your biz. But either way, being able to model, being able to model, like, but also model, like, you ain't got to be all offended. You don't have to be so aggressive with, like, because I ain't clean the kitchen today because I always clean. Like, you ain't got to do it that way either. Like, I don't. It's really tricky to model it appropriately.
Yes.
You know, when I think about Montague and my dynamic, like, we're both working people. We both work hard. And I'm just more of a planner and organizer, and I'm thinking about dinner, and I'm doing, and you know, things have been a certain way for a while, and it has over the past few years has started to change. In time, he started to see, but initially it was painting this picture because that's what it was. But I had an attitude like, if I want something done, I just go, I got it. No, whatever, I got it. I got it. And then I created that. So showing that too, you know, that thing, the just learning how to adjust and letting the seasons change, and then you top it with modeling it for the kids. But we have conversations with the children about stuff. Like Montague will say, and he has said, for a long time, your mother was planning all the meals. Your mom always, and I didn't start really cooking until COVID. By then, we've been married for a hot minute. And saying that to the children so that they can see.
Yeah.
Or he'll be like, all right, somebody take this dog out. We know, no shade, but we know Zamira, you know, it'll be, you'll wait a few seconds, and then you'll hear, oh, like, I guess I'll do it. Because I always. Zamira will come, he'll be like, somebody come take this dog out. Zamira, you stay in your room. Somebody else come take this dog. Like, and showing, like, just because she can and will doesn't mean you leave her to do it all the time. Because there's, you know, it's not okay.
Yeah.
But that balance and that, it gets real.
It does.
Well,
Definitely.
it's interesting too for me in my home. As a parent, you see, traits of yourself or your spouse and your children. And for Asa, I see one trait that I had to grow out of. And the weird dynamic is that when he does it, I get angry. But I did it too. I know, that's why I know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
But God's like, girl, pump, like, you do see it. You know it's there. Remember how you had to grow out of it, and how people had to support you and work with you as well. So don't expect him to lose it overnight, right?
Yep,
And then
yep.
with Asaya, like, if we're not careful, and if as the parents, the adults, even as the adults, we don't work on ourselves, or we refuse to face up, to the fact that we need to do work.
Yeah.
What can happen is you will use your kids to fight your battles. What I mean is, if Kwesi sees something in Asaya that he doesn't appreciate because of how he was brought up, and it rubs him the wrong way,
Yeah.
and I have compassion for Asaya in that area because I know where he's coming from, then when Kwesi says something to correct Asaya, I take offense because I feel like he's attacking me.
Yep.
And then I come at Kwesi.
That is so real.
It is very real.
That's so real.
And I'll come at him like, nah, don't talk to him like that. But then that's out of order.
Out.
That's
of
out
order.
of, you know what I mean? We're not showing the
Out.
kid. You're allowing that to mess stuff up. And your united front, your unity as the parents, as the married people. Right? And then you're showing the kids too, because if they get the mind to do it, then they'll use you guys
Yep.
against each other.
Absolutely.
And do what they want to do.
Absolutely.
So it's really, it will call you back to humility. It will call you back to prayer. And it will call you back to, it will give you great opportunities to talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Because
it does.
we had Kwesi did that actually with the boys recently, because the way he was brought up, they didn't do a lot of celebrating birthdays. He had to earn whatever he got, you see. So he was having trouble around Asaya's birthday because it was right. You could
see it.
tell.
Uh-huh.
And then and I was trying to just
Yeah.
kind of keep everything running smooth. It was packed in there. It was more adults than kids.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was it was we had to talk about it
As a family.
as a family. First, me and Kwesi had to talk about it.
Yes, buddy. Got to have a pre-meeting.
Yes. And
Got
then he talked about it like the next day or the day after that, and was just saying, you know what, guys, I'm struggling with this because this is how I was brought up.
Yes.
And while it's not fair to you for me to, to treat you as if celebrating you is wrong, I just want you to know where I'm coming from. And I also want you to have a healthy understanding of that everything's not always about you, because I grew up spoiled, right? And we can see some of that happening here. So just bringing balance, bringing a good perspective, a healthy perspective to it all. But again, that goes back to the adults working on the adults.
The adults working on the adults.
So, yeah.
I just wanted to go back to something that Lynn said with how she didn't want to be like what she saw growing up. And then when she ended up not being like what she saw growing up, it didn't work, right? I think sometimes we may focus so much on, well, I ain't going to be that.
That's right.
That you go so far left.
That's right.
That it still ain't going to work.
Left. I was off of the ruler.
Yes.
What? I was off of the chart. I was like,
Yes.
oh, I was off the chart.
So at the end of the day, we gotta just be what the Bible says we,
Right.
That's
should
right.
be. Like, I ain't gonna be like my dad. He wasn't there. Or I ain't gonna be like my mom. She did this. That puts so much focus on them
Yes, that's
that
very true.
it takes focus off of what does the word say? What does
Right.
God say?
What does the word say?
What does the word
And
say?
then the other thing I wanted to say was with unhealed childhood traumas, it isn't always in the home where you may experience trauma. It can be at school. You may have had an excellent home life. You know, your parents were great. No, they weren't perfect. Your home wasn't perfect, but you may not have experienced trauma at home.
Yep.
But you may have been bullied at school. Or just something from the outside that isn't home was something that brought trauma to you. So it doesn't always have to be a trauma that happened in the home. It can happen outside of the home as well. And again, it's just something that, you know, you need to know that it needs to be healed.
Right.
Basically is what I'm saying.
And it also put, as you were saying, Danny, like it puts this undue pressure too. Like it was this undue pressure on me to not be what I saw. Like it was it was overwhelming, and instead of and to look to God in you should look to God, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be digging in the Word. You're supposed to be reading your Bible. You're supposed to be praying and, you know, and trusting and all of that stuff. Your parents should be your first line of defense, but when we have to recognize, as Jared was saying on Morning Eyes, that our parents are flawed. That's when you start to see that they're flawed. And for me, a lot of it was, I didn't trust God as much. I just didn't, because it was like, well, how can I believe in someone who hasn't seen me, who I've never seen, I have not laid eyes on, to love me unconditionally, when the people in my home wasn't doing that. So that was the major struggle for me with God. And just having that level of faith in him. And I mean, now, you know, it's different. I mean, of course, because it's maturing and, you know, growing and pruning and processing and all of that. But it was just really challenging. And it was this it was just this undue pressure that, and I wanted to be a good parent. And, you know, you all know, you know, when Christian that said it like 3 times, Ma, I just think you need to talk to somebody. Like, what? Because I was like, no, I know I'm being a different parent. I know. And, you know, it was like,
Kids be looking at you like, you okay?
yeah. And he was like, Ma, I just think you need to go talk to somebody. And I did. And finally, like, those were the things that I was breaking through. Like, I was breaking through the childhood traumas that were like, just like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're out of control. What is going on? So yeah.
Good stuff.
That's good. Did we cover everything?
I don't think so. Did we? I think that's number 3. But it's good. It's good stuff, guys.
Yeah, and we've been saying this all along. Marriage doesn't make things easier. You'll have to work at it.
Yeah, you gotta work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be over, and it's not gonna happen overnight. That's another thing. Because again, you with this person till death.
That's right.
That's what you're supposed to be with.
Right.
You know.
And I know we've been talking about communication this whole time too. One of the things on there was don't allow things to fester. Ooh, I wish I would have known that before marriage. How important communication is. It's good that if you're not able to solve a problem with your spouse right away, to make sure that you eventually come back to solving that problem. I've had moments with Jared where I'm just still pondering on whatever situation we're dealing with, and I'm just like, well, I'm not ready to talk right now. But sometimes too much time can go by. I think sometimes we kind of, because we may be afraid to have the conversation, we'll still put it out there that, but I'm still praying on it, or I'm still, but no, you need to have the conversation now.
Right.
It's been a minute. Because for him, he's just wondering what's going on. And he may not be doing that well because the conversation hasn't been had.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that again, you know the importance of communication, and it is good to say, I can't talk about this right now. It's just I can't talk about it right now. But at some point, you got to talk about it.
Right.
Because if you don't, it will fester. It will be a hindrance in your marriage. And it does something to your spouse when you're not open and honest about whatever's going on. So if you truly just want to be on the same page with any area in your marriage, you have to communicate about everything, even if it's hard. But you have to talk about it.
Yeah. When I think about the communication thing, I think about shutting down. I used to be really good at that. But shutting down for two reasons. One, because I don't want to say anything because I don't want to hurt his feelings or make him upset. So I go all this time making him feel like something's all right, something's all good, and it's not.
Yeah.
And then eventually I come and I'm like, yeah, but I don't like that. And I was like, well, since when? Since forever. But you just didn't know because I never say anything. But
my
today
issue,
she's
too.
saying something.
Yes.
You've been
So
holding
springing,
this all this time.
springing them LOL surprises on them ain't nice. It's not,
At
it's
all.
not right.
At all.
And Jackie Hill Perry said something before about shutting down. It's like you're punishing the other person too. Like, no, I ain't saying nothing. No, it's fine. No, everything's fine. And it's really like a tactic. Like you are saying something by not saying it, like on purpose. Just like, nah, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just gonna let it ride because it's fine. And like, yeah, what is that? Like, what are you doing? You know you're leaving this person in limbo. You know that you left somebody hanging or you're being difficult. You're not, and then they can't have peace.
That's
It's
exactly
definitely
it.
passive
That's
aggressive.
exactly
and they
it.
can't have peace because you throwing an internal fit and withholding, and you don't want to talk to, and you just trying to. And you think
floating around with
that's
that
great.
invisible bubble around you, because though you're sharing quarters, that puts like this barrier.
It's definitely something that goes with you to work, and with everything. The kids
Goes with
feel
you
it,
everywhere.
and all of that. And it's not okay to do. You're not doing anybody a favor, but then also it's immature. Stop.
Yes.
You think you totally cooked by not telling him. Like not telling him what's bothering you because you want to let him suffer for a little while, and all of that is whack.
Yes.
And manipulation.
Yeah.
It's manipulative, yes.
'Cause it just reminds me of
Passive
like
aggressively, it is.
how TV portrays marriages where the husband is like scared of the wife. It's so whack. Like they're just these dumb men. They don't know how to do nothing, and the wife throws them on the couch.
Right.
And I was watching an episode of This Is Us, and I don't know if y'all watched that, but Randall made this decision.
That's a black guy, right?
About a job. And at first he told her, if anytime you want me to stop, I'll stop. It sounded good to say at the beginning, but when he got in the thick of it, and she was like, well, I want you to stop. I'm pulling the card now because things getting thick and the girl's having problems and blah. And he was like, well, I got to finish now. Like, no, I got to finish. And like, she put him on the couch. And then later they had the conversation and like, he brought it. Like, I said, Ma, you know what I like about that episode? He was not afraid of talking to her. He didn't care that she was mad. And I love that about Montague. Like when I'm mad and I'm just like, like, oh, he don't care. Like, especially if he didn't really do nothing or he don't know what he did. And I got all this going on.
Yep.
He'll just be like, like, you'll come around because you're not going to manipulate me with all this, with your tantrums.
That's right.
I don't care.
That's right. And
on TV, it's like happy wife, happy life, but nah, that's not real. That's not right. No. We have to have a better balance.
Yeah.
And not try to make each other, because guys can do it too. Guys can not talk to you for a while or be real closed off. Like, don't do that. Like, stop.
Don't do that.
We ain't doing that.
Or don't withhold sex. I guess that would speak more to the women in the sense of I know.
I don't do that.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think some women may use that as a manipulation tactic. Well, he ain't
You
gonna
in the
get none tonight.
doghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the shop is closed or
Yeah.
whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
But that
The garden is
creating
gated.
that bubble,
The garden is what?
Gated.
the garden is gated. Creating that bubble attacks the sex life though, naturally.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
You can't enjoy it. Or it's just like, all right,
Right.
good night.
Right.
Like, no. You think they don't know? You think they good? No. No.
And then when you don't solve things, one of the most uncomfortable feelings.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Garden is gated. What?
It's a talent. It just hit me.
The
there.
garden is
Yeah,
gated.
it just hit me.
One of the worst feelings is when you're not on the same page with your spouse, but y'all gotta be in public.
Oh,
I cannot stand that
yeah.
because it's almost like you gotta put on a facade for people.
I hate that.
Yeah.
when y'all aren't on the same page.
That's tricky.
And maybe some couples don't put on a facade, and it's just like, well, we just gonna be whatever at this public function or whatever the case may be. But
Like Ike and Tina when they walked into the hotel.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
was fighting in the limo, and then they walked in the hotel like everything was fine. They was all bloody and stuff.
That's not good. So again, it's just look. If we ain't gonna talk about it, let's just make sure we talk about this later. That helps.
At least.
When you can at
Yeah.
least say that, like, all right,
When you
I
can
know
at
we-
least address that.
yeah,
there's an
just
issue.
address it. I know we're not on the same
Yeah.
page right now. We're about to go in here, but we gonna talk about this later. That helps to take some of the pressure off.
Yeah. Because both ways is uncomfortable. Going in there now, everybody looking like, what in the world? Did y'all see what she just did? She snatched his so-and-so. It's embarrassing. Y'all look dumb.
Yes.
Or you in there real fake.
Yeah, just real fake.
Like, you just, and
Yeah.
it's so uncomfortable. And
That's a tricky spot to navigate because of those two possibilities.
yeah. It's different when you're going around people who don't know you, too, as opposed to people who know you as well.
I don't. All of what you're saying is right. I don't know. I don't have the ability to navigate that. I know Dante and we had gone to a wedding, and we went to a wedding, and they clearly said for us it was black.
What, black?
Color.
The color was black.
Okay.
Okay.
And Dante
Uh-oh. Where he at on?
wore blue.
He ain't have black.
He
He didn't care.
didn't care.
Oh.
He wore blue. And so I wasn't going to leave him out there. So I wore blue too. However,
We'll be wrong together.
we were
We
wrong
in this
together. I was so uncomfortable the entire night. I was uncomfortable because, there were a few people that wore blue, very few. But he had on like a blue jacket. He had on gray pants. Like, it was, I was so uncomfortable. I was, and we ended up talking about it. That I was uncomfortable, and I mean, but the whole time, and like you're saying, like, I'm sitting up there like, this is not what we're supposed to be wearing, blah, 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 blah. And now we gotta go in there and be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bama. You got me up here looking crazy. And you look crazy. I don't care what you say. You look crazy and you're out of order. So, yeah, just...
It's funny because you're still going to have those moments where you be like, Natara, good and well. So we just went to the movies recently, last weekend. And we came in there. The movie had already started. And we tried to align a movie with a party. Zamara went to a party that was a ways away. So we were like, well, we can't go all the way home and come all the way back. So we're going to find a movie. So we got to the movie maybe like 15 minutes after the movie had started. And we got nachos. But the nachos come in a bag. So you got to open it. So
Okay.
at the movie theater. So we got the nachos. And then Gideon was texting about something. And I was like, Gideon. And then Montague said, you're making too much noise. When I tell y'all, I moved 3 seats over.
Did you really?
I
The whole
literally,
time? You got the movies the whole time like that?
most of some.
Okay.
So I moved 3 seats over and sat back. I was like, right? Like, what? And we how old I am? Like, what are you, 5? Or like, which I've been married like a half hour. And this, what's so funny is Montague is he's such a wonderful man. Like, Because he could have been like, get back over here. Or he could have just been like, whatever. So first he texted me, I wasn't trying to upset you. And he explained.
he said
that,
and
I ain't answered the
That
text.
this guy was looking at him.
And after that, this man was sending me texts about the movie. He was like, I think she did it because, like, he was like, but look at her, see what he got on? See, he did. And it didn't matter. And then he said another time, was like, can you come sit back over here, please? And then eventually I came, but it was still in one chair. I still left the chair. I did. I still left the chair. It wasn't that many people in the theater either. But it was funny. And then later I was like, Natara, you were so extra. And he didn't even care. Today I asked him, because I forgot about it. And then today, for some reason, it came up. I was like, do you think I was acting stupid at the movie theater? He was like, no, you weren't acting stupid. And that was just it. Like, but he there was so much grace because it was so immature. It was so extra. But I love how he did not care. He still shared even when I left the chair in between us, we still shared the cherry Coke. Like, he still shared the soda. Like, he didn't care. He didn't even change how he was treated. Like, he didn't change how he treated me or anything like that.
And that's good because Kwesi did that the other day, and it's almost likened to like when a small child falls or something or hurts him or herself, and then they look to the adult. And based on how the adult responds, like if the adult freaks out, then they'll just let it rip and cry.
Exactly.
But the adult's like, well, you okay? And then sometimes it's like, oh, yeah. It just depends. And they look to that adult.
Right.
It's like, I forget, something, I might have just been irritable, but Kwesi had said something to me, and I like snapped back at him, and he looked, I could tell he was thinking, okay, what's the problem?
What's going on with you? Mm-hmm.
Right. But then he kept like chopping the onions or whatever, and then he just continued to kind of talk to me just like regularly, right? And I just kind of grabbed onto that coattail and was like, okay, no, it's cool. Because he's not going to make it a big thing, then I'm going to let's just keep it nice.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good because sometimes we feel the need to kind of stoop to our spouse's level. Like if they're rude or if they do something that's immature. And we like, all right, well, I'm going to be immature back and just do something immature, right? When you take the higher road, right? You're the bigger person and you are the mature one and you do something that like Kwesi did or like Montague did. If we do that more, I think that will definitely just bring just more peace.
And I gave him the opportunity to say, yeah, you were tripping, acting like a little girl. He didn't. And this was a week later, and we were great after that. I mean, and it was just funny. Yeah. Like in hindsight, like that would have been me watching the show. Like, look at this chick. Now she's sitting over there by herself looking down. Me, like stepping out, looking at stuff. It was a trip.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the nachos though?
Yeah, the nachos was good with the little cheese, a little warm cheese, little bowl thing. Damn. I did. I was making noise, but I did say to him, I feel like sometimes like you're embarrassed of me, like sometimes, and that's a childhood thing. I was raised in the hood, like so, and he's a little more on the bougie side. Y'all met his mom, so sometimes I feel like he feels like I bring him down.
Yeah.
He has never ever felt that way, but it's my insecurity, like
perception.
this little ghetto black girl. You
That's
making
right.
noise or whatever. And,
But that's so good about a good man, a good husband, right? A good leader of the home, a good protector, a good, because the love of God can flow through each of us towards the other person. And I just liken that to the skewed ways that we grew up the skewed ways that we picked up as we looked at ourselves based on whatever trauma or whatever things happened, right? God's love will wash that totally clean, right?
Yes.
And that is, like you were talking about just now, like the way that Montague has watered you with his love dispels a lot of the skewed way of seeing yourself. And that's what God's love does.
Yes.
Definitely.
I think this is the longest shopping we've ever had.
It is.
I know,
Because we
'cause
over here in
mine's
the
you
evening. Ain't
home.
nobody got nowhere to
He
go.
been home. He said he had to go to
We
the
over here, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
Yeah.
You gonna do the whittle part?
Yes.
You said that after, right? Or you said it
Before
already?
and after.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Thanks, guys, for being with us today here at Sharpen, where no matter the candid conversation, we always end up whittling life down to what matters most. And we hope that as you hung out with us today, you were inspired to do the same. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
To stay connected with us, you can follow the Sharpen Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And if this content helps to build you up in any way, and you want others to benefit too, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, as this helps to get the word out. This podcast is also a part of the Just Be brand, which you can follow via the links in the show notes. There's merch and all there, y'all, including my book, Just Be Child, which can be purchased on Amazon.